Yo, what up? This is Verse Simmonds, and you may know me from not only my singles, Buy You Around and Boo Thing, but I'm also responsible for records like New Flame for Chris Brown and Usher, Who Gon' Stop Me for Jay-Z and Kanye, Confident for Justin Bieber. I ain't gonna go too much of the list, but that's just some of the songs that you may know me for. Songwriter, artist, producer, and I'm here with the TmrO app. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I grew up in the Virgin Islands, so most of my upbringing is out of the Caribbean. You know, some people don't really know what they want to do with their life. I was blessed to know what I always wanted to do from a very young age. I think probably like 3 or 4 years old, just remembering like I wanted to be on the radio. So for me, it's always just kind of been like a life goal and a life mission to achieve these things in the music industry, because it's my passion. It's like, you know, it's one thing that I could actually say that looking back in my life is the one thing that I've always had, I've always wanted to do, that I'm passionate about and that I'm actually good at. You know what I'm saying? That I could say that I'm actually good at. So my earliest memories of music would be in the Virgin Islands, in the back of my mom's car, and music is playing. And like I said, I'm just thinking like, yo, one day I'm gonna be on the radio. You know what I'm saying? I had to be like 4 or 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably my earliest memory. Man, Jodeci was a group that I really, really loved. 112, but you know, I kind of like, I was into stuff like Bob Marley. I was into Babyface is a big inspiration of mine because he was an artist and a songwriter, producer, and that's kind of like how I saw myself. So he's definitely a big inspiration for me. And also, like I said, I'm from the Virgin Islands, and there's a group in the Virgin Islands that I grew up on named Jamban. And the lead singer, his name was Nick Daddy Friday. And he's probably one of my biggest inspirations to this day when it comes to music, because he just was like a legend where I'm from. Like, and this is calypso music, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of grew up with, you know, not only listening to hip hop and R&B, but also, you know, calypso, soca, dancehall, reggae, all those things were like embedded in me growing up. So those are some of my biggest inspirations. And like I said, Friday is probably one of my most notable inspirations that I could say to this day. Like, growing up listening to him kind of taught me different pockets in music that you don't just hear every day. For me, growing up knowing that I wanted to do music, it meant I was in all the talent shows in school, band, all those kind of things. I had a group when I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? So I always knew what the vision was, and I knew what I was chasing. I was like, nah, I'm going to leave the Virgin Islands and I'm going to pursue music. So when I left high school, I ended up going to Florida and kind of building there. That's where I met one of my best friends and partner, Sac Passe, who, you know, we've done some amazing things for people from Jay-Z and Kanye to Rihanna. And we met there, and then we moved from Florida to LA, and we moved from LA to Atlanta. And when I got to Atlanta is actually when I got my artist deal. I found it important to build my foundation in the music industry as a songwriter, since to me that meant that I'm not going anywhere. The songwriters, the producers, they were around a lot longer. They were able to influence so many more artists because, you know, they were the pins behind them and the motivation behind their music. So I took that template and just kind of like made my own way with it. My earliest creative process was singing, and it was being an artist first, you know? Like, I started to probably write songs in middle school, but before then I was already like in talent shows, singing and stuff like that. But I realized that I kind of had a talent for writing songs. So I just started performing those songs in school, you know what I'm saying? Like Valentine's Day, people would pay us to basically go, and we would skip school too. We would skip in school. Valentine's Day, we would go to all the different schools where if you wanted us to go sing to your wife at her job up the hill, we was going up the hill. If you wanted us to go to a school and sing that wasn't our school, we was going, you know what I'm saying? And we'd go sing for these people. And if you know of the group Rock City, they were also in the group with me as well, because we all grew up together. We're like a very tight-knit group of friends that have been friends since like middle school. My friend group was very important to me finding my way, because I think we all kind of bounced off of each other, like learning different things, you know what I'm saying, and attacking different things. I remember, like, for instance, Tehran from Rock City, he used to chant. What we would call chanting is like more like a dance hall flavor of thing, but I noticed that he could sing. So I'll be like, yo, I got him really into R&B music, and he just into rap. And then, you know, he kind of turned that into writing R&B songs for some of the biggest artists in the world. And he's influenced me in the same kinds of ways when it comes to like performing and things like that. And so it was really, really important that my friends were my friends, because even to this day, we still feed off of each other. We still push each other. We still look at each other's accomplishments and be like, yo, that's dope. Like, keep going. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they've definitely been a source of motivation for me throughout the years, for sure. It's really important for you to find your tribe and your group, because nobody could really do this by themselves. Like, music is kind of like a collaborative sport. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot of moving pieces. Different people have different jobs. You need a team. You need people that you trust. You need people that motivate you and inspire you to keep going and becoming better. So it's really important for you to find those people. And the best way to do that is really to, like, network with your peers. I grew up with my people, like, those were the people I came up with. It wasn't like really like we were reaching to other people. It was like, this our clique, this our crew, this what we doing, this what we about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that made other people look at us and be like, yo, them niggas hot. So it's really important to find that group, and I think you realize it when it's not hard to put it together. You know what I'm saying? It's like a natural thing. It's like everybody understands each other, they respect each other, and they move in that space. So it's very important for me to listen to all kinds of different kinds of music, because where I'm from in the Virgin Islands, like I said, it's a U.S. territory, right? But literally, you might be listening to the radio and you will hear the biggest pop song to the biggest trap song to the biggest soca song to the biggest, you know what I'm saying? Like, it will all be on one station back to back to back. And I think what that did for me is make me very diverse and versatile when it comes to my music. It's your job as a songwriter, producer, to figure out who you have in a room with you, read the room, and dial into what they're looking for, and try to give them that at the highest level. Because at the end of the day, it is a service business as well. If you're a songwriter and a producer, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not only what you want to do, and also like knowing the artist's life, or somewhat having an idea of what they're going through in their life, like what they've been through in their life, because those are the things that they're gonna really be attached to. So you wanna include those things. So you wanna have conversation with them, figure out like what they into, where they, you know, where they grow up. Like, are you in a relationship? Do you like that motherfucker? You don't like that motherfucker? No, we could write a song about you not liking them. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important to kind of be open to what it is that they're trying to accomplish and where they are in their life. Because it's not only my experiences. I could come from my experiences, which I try to be general a lot of times, because, you know, we all been through heartbreak, we all been through different emotions, and so those are like surface things that you could touch on. But then when you want to go deeper into their life, you really have to sit down and get to know who they are, get to understand their life and what they're going through, what they've been through, so you can really give them something that's tailor-made for them. Anybody that's, you know, getting into writing for other people, like, do some background on them, because it's really a mental game too, you know what I'm saying? So you really gotta be on point. Actually, just released today two records that I did on a classic, legendary group came out today. And it was great to be in the studio with them, because it's somebody that you're like, I wouldn't expect to be in the studio writing records for these people. I'm talking about the Isley Brothers. I just had two releases on the Isley Brothers that just dropped. And it's kind of like a surreal thing, because it's like, this is like my grandparents. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they were into. Like, and to think that, like, in 2022, these people have such an amazing legacy, and I'm still able to be a part of their legacy is mind-blowing to me. And I spent like a week in the studio with them, and I really felt like I was in the studio with family, you know what I'm saying? It was like, Ronald Isley is one of the coolest like slickest kind of cats. Like, it's like he walk in the room, it's like, you know what I'm saying? He's up there in age, but he just moves like he's just that guy, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to go back in my mental and like just recall the songs that I know of them through the years, you know, like when R. Kelly was doing this stuff with him and it was Mr. Biggs, you know what I'm saying? It was like to be now in a room with him and kind of feeling that space as the writer that he's trusting to create music with him and for him is just kind of like a surreal moment for me. So that I would have to say right now, that's the thing that kind of like took me back and made me say like, yo, I'm really in this thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I done did a lot, but that's one of the things that I could say like I'm really, really proud of being able to accomplish in my career thus far. That's a good question. And I'm gonna tell you why that's a good question. I was on a flight. I was going out to LA, I believe. This is a while ago. I get into my seat, I sit down, I'm chilling, just, you know, getting myself together. The person next to me comes and sits down. And so I look over, and it's the RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. So he's sitting right next to me, and I'm just like, yo, hey, you the RZA. We start a conversation, and I'll never forget some of the biggest information, advice that I got from him, or from anybody in this music industry, it comes from him because he let me know the importance of growing into the shoes that you're trying to fill. He gave me an example of how he was on in his heyday. They were just going crazy and was spending money and they just didn't care. They were buying houses that were $20,000 a month and he was like, yo, that's some of the dumbest shit that I ever did. Like, there was no reason for me to do that, but there's nobody really telling me, you know what I'm saying? And he was just letting me know the importance of slowing it down because he was like, as hot as you are today, you're not gonna be hot forever. So you gotta know how to like position yourself in a way where you can sustain through the time. Cause at that point, he had already gone broke and got back. You know what I'm saying? So I always replay that in my mind to let me know like, yo, it's really about longevity. You know what I'm saying? It's really about the long run. And I look at people like Quincy Jones and to know that he did Michael Jackson at 50 years old, you know what I'm saying, is what I look at and I say to myself, yo, as many times you get frustrated in the music industry, you're like, yo, this ain't going right, this ain't happening how I want it to happen, this, da, 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 da. Then I'm like, yo, Quincy Jones did Thriller at 50, relax. So the RZA really was one of the main people that, and he might not even remember this, this might have just been some random, like, I don't even think he knew who I was at the time, or I don't know, but he probably doesn't even remember that, but that always just stuck with me like, yo, the RZA told me some real shit on a flight, randomly, just flying, yeah, so yeah. I think the biggest piece of advice I'd give myself, if I could go back in time, would be, kill these niggas, they ain't fucking with you. Faster. Get into that space of understanding that faster. Like, no hesitation, no uncertainty, no insecurity. Kill these niggas now, go. There's something in your mind, or in my mind, saying you could do it, but then there's still a bit of hesitation as you grow because it's like, wow, oh wow, this could happen, man. Man, I'm at the Grammys. Oh shit, I got 5 Grammy nominations, like wow. So I would tell myself to like, just boss up quicker because you really got it already. You're already down, you're already there down here. So letting you know, move like it. You know what I'm saying? Now just move like it and you're gonna get it. Yeah, so I have this thing where for a very long time I was so locked into my craft. Over time, I had to learn that I had to find other sources of inspiration just in my life. And it could be simple things too. It's like going to sit at the beach and just really just taking it in and just paying attention to people, right? Because I gain a lot of inspiration in ways like that too. Like I'll notice a couple over there sitting down, they might be arguing. Like I'll notice somebody over there, he might be sad, he might look like he going through some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really get a lot of my inspiration either like just through things that I've actually gone through or just like things that I'm witnessing other people go through, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where I get a lot of it. And so I'm just learning now that I need to find other ways, and I'm still figuring that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still it's all still a learning process for me. I never try to stop learning. Like, I always, try to find new things about myself and things that I'm gonna like, because I try to put it into my music. I need to like get out of the studio space and go live life. Probably Lauryn Hill. Actually, the Fugees probably. But the reason why is because as a Caribbean kid, when they came out, that was probably one of the first times I kind of felt like culture-wise, like Caribbean was seen, because, Wyclef's from Haiti, and, it just, for me, it was a blend and a mashup of hip-hop and dancehall reggae, and it was like this shit that you never really heard before them. It's crazy that I didn't mention them before, because, to be honest, they were a very, very big inspiration in my approach to music and just understanding that it could be done. Like, the versatility that Lauryn Hill had to be able to sing and then be an MC and like really fuck it up on both ends. And it just showed me like how versatile you can be, and there's really no limit. So yeah, like the Fugees. Now more than ever, the US is open to the most diverse music that it's ever been open to. When I first came in the music industry doing what I was doing, I coined the title Island B, right? Because I was doing a mixture of like R&B with its Caribbean and hip hop, and it was all these fusions of things. And at the time, nobody was really doing, that wasn't really a thing necessarily, you know what I'm saying? As you fast forward, then you have, Drake coming with the tropical sound, and you have Party Next Door coming with that as well. And it's been more embraced now, you know what I'm saying? So we're at a point now where people, and that's because America is more of a melting pot than it's ever been, right? You have more people here from different countries than probably ever been before. And that's making the music palette just a lot broader. And I'm really excited about that, because it means that people are a lot more open, especially when we're talking about something like Afro beat, right? Most times in the US, international music comes in like waves, right? So you'll have, dance hall will be killing for like 2 summers, or like, you know what I'm saying? And the shit go away. I think we get into a space now where it's not really like a go away thing. It's more like, if you into that, it's here, and it's just on play. Everybody's into it. It's totally different. Like, the girls want to dance to that. That's what they want to dance to. They are not in the club dancing to Future. They are dancing and winding up themselves and feeling sexy to the Afrobeat, the dancehall, the R&Bs, those kind of things. That's what they're doing that to. So I'm just really excited right now, because that's what I really love about the music right now. That's the great thing about being this diverse right now, is because there is space for everything to be, you can have your space. You don't want to hear that? You can go over there and listen to that. Chris was having a song camp in LA, and he was like, yo, nigga, you need to come out here. And this is at the time where it was a very critical time for me, because at this time, I had already put out Boo Thing. I was on the road a lot, and I just really wasn't feeling it. Like, I told my manager, like, I'm not about to go on the road no more. Like, I'm gonna sit down, and I'm about to go write some records. So I ended up doing that. One of Usher's best friends, his name is Keith. He's one of my good friends as well. Keith called me, he's like, yo, we're doing this session out here in LA. You need to come out here. So he ended up, helping me fly out there, getting me a room and all of that. And I remember going to the sessions every day, and my thing was, nobody's gonna beat me in these sessions. I was there before anybody was there every day, and I left after everybody was gone every day. And I ended up coming out with like 6 songs on the X album because of that. And that's really how that came about. And that's kind of how Chris and I ended up linking, because at the song camp, like, I'm in the room by myself. Every other room is like 3, 4, 5 people in a room writing a song. I'm like the only one in a room by myself writing a song. When he would come by the studio, it would just be like, yo, what you think about that? I press play. I remember one time, it was one record that I did, and he wasn't feeling it. It was just like, and that shit just like gassed me up. And that same night, I wrote Love More with him and Nicki Minaj. Because I was like, nah, nigga, you're not gonna tell me that's not it. And yeah, that's how it kind of all came together. I think what's got me excited about the future right now is a few different things. So I just did a JV at Republic Records, which I have an artist signed to Republic by the name of Jada Kingdom. So I'm very excited about her project. We're putting it together. We have already a few singles in right now. Actually, one single in with a couple other songs out, but super excited about that. I have a label called Money Well Spent, me and my partner Fresh built, which Jada signed to. So I'm just really excited about the company that I'm building. I have a new producer that we just signed. He goes by the name of Denuzo. So I'm really excited right now because I'm in this transitional phase in my career of, yes, being a songwriter, yes, being an artist, but now I'm in a space of becoming more an executive as well, you know, and adding that title to what I already do. And I'm just really excited to be able to share my platforms with these new artists that's coming up, because I really believe in them. I really believe that they could be really great. And so I'm just excited to be able to share all my knowledge with them, all my resources with them, and putting that energy into them that I know, because I really feel like they're gonna be like the next big things in music. So I'm really excited for my company, Money Well Spent, and growing that brand. Once again, this is the kid Verse Simmonds, and I thank y'all for hanging out with me here at the TmrO app. Appreciate y'all checking me out. Make sure you go to my social media at Verse Simmonds. Check me out. You already know.